as the 19-2 Superior girls hockey team welcome in Emma Stauber and the Mirage. Superior averaging just about 6 goals a game, while the Mirage averaging about 3, but have scored 10 goals in their last 2 games, and neither two teams wasted any time. The offense was cooking early and often, already a 1 score just a few minutes in until Addie Benson gets the puck to trickle past Mila McLeod, and what do you know, the Spartans reclaim the lead 2-1, but not for long, because that's just how this one would go. You already know who it is, weaving her way past defenders. Izzy Fairchild, nothing but patience and poise. She gets rewarded, and hey, how about another lead change? It's 2-2. Oh, and by the way, we're still in the first period here. Maddie Vachan battling along the boards, but comes away with the puck, feeds herself, a little spin move, and snipes her home. That's 5 goals in the first 17 minutes of play, but it's the Spartans who lead 3-2. For now. So right out of the gates in the second, it's Superior who strikes again, courtesy of Michaela Ranke, 4-2. Let's see what the Mirage can do. Shortly after Mirage turns defense into offense, it's Haley Jasula to Ella Roth. Doesn't get much simpler than that. Or does it? Back to a 1-goal game now, 4-3. On the Mirage power play now. And all it took was a little game of tic-tac-toe. That's 2 in a row for the Mirage. It's all square at 4. The Mirage head into the final frame up 6-5 and keep it up from there, handing the Spartans just their 3rd loss of the season, 9-5 the final.